Sit back, relax a little bit. Let me tell you a story. See if yours is anything like mine. Remember when I was a kid? So much better when I popped the lid. Feel the rabble, open it up.
Exactly, listen to Sean. Right, and Cash Out's the easy way to get money transferred when you're out with friends. So pick up into that and then we'll get back to it.
He said, baby, jump in the back, boy. Tailgate crazy.
Tailgate crazy. Go ahead and jump in the back, guys. We're about to take this bus around the block a couple times tonight. How's it going? Right? How's it going, guys? Welcome to Fantasy Football Reports. I'm your bus driver, Cedric Green. I got my co-pilot, Justin T. What up, Justin?
Good, feeling good. Fresh off the bye. Loving the weekend's games. It was wild. A lot of stunners and a couple of duds. So looking to get into it with you guys about it, what we take away, what our thoughts were about those games, and my condolences to the Broncos Nation, you guys. That was a rough game.
Hey,
but okay. The future's looking bright for next year. You're taking the division, and it's only up.
It's only up from there, like you said. So yeah, guys. As you hear, so we'll be starting off with some news around the NFL tonight, and we'll take it in. We'll talk about those playoff games. Maybe some letdowns, maybe not. And then maybe some highs and some lows from the playoff, from the wild card division. That's why they call it the wild card division, right? And then we had our big dogs, our top dogs, whatever you want to call them, lounging, laid back. They didn't have to worry about a thing last week, and they were safe. We'll get to talking about that, and then as we've been doing the past couple episodes, we'll transition into some NBA talk from there. So I know Justin put a question up in the chat: who's your wild card weekend MVP? So let me go ahead and get that posted. So guys, yeah, if you want to go ahead and drop that in the chat, we'd love to touch on that. Like, yeah, it was a crazy wild card weekend. But yeah, just some news around the NFL. I know you had some stuff there, Justin. Was there anything specific you wanted to talk about?
Just the the coaching carousel, murmurs going around. Like, I think the Bears were scheduled to talk with Mike McCarthy. Now he got let go from the Cowboys after being denied.
I was gonna touch on that.
Talking to the Bears, that was wild. That's Jerry Jones being saucy.
I know I said I wanted to talk about the coaches, so it's good. I wanted to touch on that.
Yeah, so the coaching carousel stuff going on, and then I know you got news that Deontay Johnson got waived by the Texans after 2 games.
Did he even play? Who knows? So yeah, that was.
I didn't see him out there. No.
Do you think the Vikings are going to re-sign Sam Darnold?
If they do, it'll be a lot more cheaper.
Right.
After his last 2 weeks of performances, I feel like they could make it a little bit more affordable price tag for him if they choose to re-sign him, or if he wants to, explore free agency, try and see where he can go, a better situation for more money. But that is going to be one interesting topic as it develops through the offseason of what the Vikings do. They have a number of free agents going into this offseason. I think they have at least a dozen or so name-worthy players.
Not the highest priority.
Who?
I'm sure he's not the highest priority then. If they have, I'd be interested to take a look and see all what they have going into free agency.
Yeah, they got a lot of question marks, but I think also with the coaching there too, does Brian Flores go somewhere? Does he stay? So there's going to be a lot of buzz circulating around the Minnesota Vikings this offseason. And since I'm around in the area, I'll try to keep up on it as best I can on the socials for you guys, let you know what's going up with that team in the North.
Speaking of the Vikings, I'm looking at this report. The Seahawks requested to interview the Vikings assistant quarterback coach, Grant Udinski, for their offensive coordinator job. And that's per Mike Garafolo. Yeah, so I mean, good. You see the ripples of that. I mean, obviously, what they were able to do, and then you're not going to be able to get their OC to come over for OC position, right? Same position, but you can get that young guy, kind of maybe try to pick his brain and see where he's at, see where he's headed, right? I kind of like that move from the Seahawks. They've been kind of going in that younger direction.
Yeah, they've been kind of aggressive after coming off of that Pete Carroll era, where it was more like rock steady, like wily veterans that knew how to do their job, get the job done, and they're more going through a youthful phase in their organization, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's new for seeing with the Seahawks, but we'll see how it ends up for them. I think they'll find their guy in the offseason, and it should benefit that offense going forward, whoever they get.
Yep. Oh yeah, here we go. I got some news right here. I'm sure you're hyped up about this. It's crazy how just out of nowhere, right? This guy was supposed to go in IR. Lions running back David Montgomery was listed as a full participant in practice today.
And how much of that was the beneficiary of winning that bye week and getting that bye? Another week of rest, so he'll be hungry. And I know, in spite of Michael here on the network, I'm sorry, but the Lions are hungry. They got their week of rest, and they're coming for those Commanders. It should be a good game.
It would have been nice to have Michael on here to have you guys go back and forth. Speaking of that, Michael, you want to come on
in a respectful way, in a nice like sportsman way.
Right.
But I wanted the Commanders not just because of the match of itself and what we were not like I didn't want any of the other ones. It just I feel like, what do you think? The young gunslinger Jaden Daniels on the road coming in to the NFC North champs in their house, trying to make a statement and send a message and keep his playoff hopes going, and then it was good vibes. It was good. It's got good vibes.
Well, I mean, you were there though, right? Like you didn't necessarily have the young gunslinger, but 3 years ago you were right here in the same position as Washington, right?
Isn't that? Yeah, it's funny how that comes comes full circle.
Right. I don't think you were 7. I don't think you made the playoffs that year but you knocked Green Bay out of the playoffs, and then you came into the playoffs last year. Or did you make the playoffs 2 years ago? I don't remember. But anyway, I just feel like
they were in the playoffs last year. They weren't. They won the division last year, but they weren't
not the year before.
One of the top seeds.
Oh yeah. And then the year before, you just missed out.
They missed, but they kept Aaron Rodgers out of it.
Yeah, you kept Aaron Rodgers out, so that was the big thing. So you guys were like the up and coming guys. The talk.
And now it looks like Washington's taking over that torch. They're taking that mantle. So Eagles fans, watch out.
Eagles are looking
team coming in that division.
Right, they're looking a bit Dallas-y these days, right?
Oh, don't tell Sam.
Nah, they pull out the win.
No, I think the Dallas Cowboys are the biggest mess in that division for the 2025 season. They got a lot
over the Giants. I mean, come on.
Yeah, because I think that the Giants can. They took their lumps this year, and they had their worst season to recent memory for myself. But if I'm looking at their offenses and defenses going into the next season, at the moment, at least they have a coach and people that are staying there to run the show. Right now at the Cowboys, it's is it going to be Deion Sanders coming in? Who's going to be the coach? Is Jerry Jones going to take a step back, or is he going to be even more involved? What kind of circus are they going to be running over there? It's going to be interesting to see. The NFC East, though, has got a new contender over there in Washington, though.
Yeah, they definitely do, man. They can keep this going, especially if they can land someone, maybe a T. Higgins or, a Tyreek Hill coming in.
Do you think maybe they land even a bigger fish, like a DK Metcalf or some other bigger wide receiver that would look for a change of scenery?
I mean, I feel hey, man, people get mad where they at when they're losing, man. Because
they just fired their offensive coordinator. Jackson Smith and Njigba is stepping up. Geno Smith is towards the end of his career, so with DK, he's still relatively young as far as a wide receiver goes. Do you think he wants to see if the grass is greener on the other side, or does he think he's content with the situation there in Seattle?
Well, I feel like that's why they're going after another OC, right? They're trying to. They're trying to tune it up. Plus, I mean, they got Njigba over there too.
Yeah, do you think he'd be okay with being second fiddle? Because usually he's the alpha, he's the guy.
Especially when you're watching Puka kind of take over, right? You're watching Puka become the top dog over there in the Rams, and it's hey, wait a minute. So I could see. I mean, dang, that'd be a solid addition because he's a possession receiver, and then you got Scary Terry coming over the top. And oh man,
That would be wild if Jaden Daniels and those Commanders get another wide receiver this offseason. Like, watch out.
Mm-hmm. But then it's almost like, do they even need another big dog receiver? Honestly, Scary Terry's the big dog. Why come in and like crowd it, right? Why bring all these big dogs?
Even
in
like
there?
a T. Higgins would be good to be second to.
We need T. Higgins over here in Denver. We need T. Higgins over here in Denver. So.
I don't know. Marvin Mims looked pretty good.
I know, but you know, Cortland Sutton, T. Higgins, Marvin Mims with Cortland Sutton in the slot, man. Oh god!
But
any
like
one of those
said,
guys can play the slot.
You were mentioning earlier this year on the show, like your owners got to open that pocketbook, right?
They will, man. I'm pretty sure last season, off season, they did too. Like,
but
I think they're ready. We got like $51 million in cap space.
Who is a possible free agent or someone that could be traded this offseason that would be a good fit for the Broncos that I think you guys should go after?
Say Jerry Jeudy. Who?
No, different position.
Who is that?
Think about the history here. Alvin Kamara to the Broncos.
Ooh.
Bring him back with Sean Payton.
I know. That's what I thought.
That's
what I thought they were talking about when they played each other, man. They were talking at the end of the game, and then it was right before the trade deadline.
I think that's if the Saints are trying to offload some money, get some space, get a little bit younger. Maybe the Broncos can slide them a pick and some a player or two or some cash.
And not to mention, Bo Nix played the last 6 weeks with a couple fractures in his back.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
but I think that'd be good for Kamara too. A change of scenery, kind of the same offense with Sean Payton.
Because Javonte is gone, man. They're not bringing Javonte.
Do you think he's gone? What about all those running? Like, who do you think they keep? Because you got to keep someone, right?
Sucks. Estimate didn't do anything. McLaughlin didn't do it. No, McLaughlin had, I think, like 2 carries for 0 yards. You know who was the man? Buddy came off IR and came out there and looked like the second fiddle that he's gonna be next season.
Okay, so you think he's running back too?
Well, they're gonna keep Estimate. He was their 3rd round pick. So
so it'll be Estimate Bidet. Okay,
Estimate Bidet. Cool. And then I think they're gonna bring a big dog in. You gotta bring a big dog in, man. Like especially when
do you think Alvin Kamara would be a good fit?
Maybe.
He's got that history with Sean Payton. He knows that
offense. He is a big dog. I could see him coming in here.
Pass catcher out of the backfield.
With how good that line's been, man, and like moving, him catching a pass with that line blocking for him. Ooh. And you don't know what's going to happen. Oh, man. It's just, it might be. Well, we got the money to do it.
It would be interesting because it would kind of half solve the wide receiver problem because he can catch out of the backfield. He can basically be a wide receiver. They used him as much with New Orleans this last year or so. He was catching a lot of passes out of the backfield.
Yeah, and then like you said, that history too. So it'd be interesting to see. I just don't want to waste more money on aging players, especially with the way these younger guys are coming in and making an impact.
The way you can look at it too, comparatively to the running backs you already have. Would you rather make a short-term investment on an established Pro Bowl running back that could give you 1 or 2 years?
Unless you're
that way you can develop a running back behind him.
Yeah, unless you're trying to trade up in the draft and draft.
Which I don't know if they're going to do that again.
Yeah, they're not doing that for a running back, so I don't think that'll. Man, the Cowboys need to just fire the whole team.
Just clean house.
Clean house, start over. Yeah, so all right. So keeping it moving. So yeah, man. We'll go on into these playoff reviews. Look like we got a comment there talking about it'll lead us right into it actually.
You want to start with the first game? Chargers, Texans?
Yeah, we'll start with Chargers, Texans, man. That first game.
Run it down for us.
We just had the Texans just look like the Texans we saw last season, man. Right? They look just like they
It's like
picked
they
up
flipped
where
the
they left off
switch.
last season. Like they flipped the switch, and it was funny, like because they, we get the news today. They're dropping Deontay Johnson. They're like, oh yeah, we forgot we got Nico Collins.
Mm-hmm.
Like what were we thinking? We got the big dog here.
And Cade
Joe
Stover
Mixon
went on
came
IR
through.
after this weekend too, so they'll be
Who
down
was
a
that?
tight end.
Oh,
Cade Stover went on to IR. I guess he got injured in the wild card game.
And he actually had 4 catches too for 28
Mm-hmm.
yards. Dalton Schultz, as usual, didn't show up at all. It'll be interesting to see what goes on with him. After the season, he's getting kind of up there. I think Cade Stover was kind of.
I think Stroud impressed me this game.
No, I was talking about Dalton Schultz.
Oh, Schultz, yeah.
No, Stroud looked great. Stroud was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like the Stroud we saw. Like he had gotten his confidence back, man. And it was.
I think having that home field
beautiful to
advantage,
watch.
like I went over through on the preview of like having that crowd behind you, having the game in your house, like I think it kind of elevated him and brought him to like another level of playability.
Yep. No, that's totally true. And I think they kind of just, like you said, flipped that switch and turned it up and did what they needed to do.
That defense is wild, man.
And that defense just went ham, though, didn't they? Like
they had Justin Herbert seeing ghosts.
Man, who had it worse, Justin Herbert or Sam Darnold? To start and to end the weekend. I think
we
Sam
want to
Darnold
know, Sports PSP,
times.
who had it worse?
Who had it worse? Sports PSP said it's Herbert overrated.
I mean, I think he was overhyped. He's overhyped.
He is.
I think he'll be like one of those back end top quarterbacks. Like I don't think he'll be a top 3 or top 5, but I think starting quarterbacks in the league, he'll be that back end top.
I don't know. I feel like he's like a Derek Carr. He's like a Derek Carr type quarterback, honestly. Like kind of probably be with the new.
I mean, this was the first year with Harbaugh too. A new coaching system, a new offense. So
they made
after next year, I'll be able to answer that question better. But at the moment, I think.
I think I'd be even more impressed with the Chargers if they'd done that with a rookie quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Herbert just kind of.
And most of it too.
Some of those passes.
Yeah, they got in his head. They sped up that clock, made him the force to throws sooner, and the pressure got to him. It was clearly on his face and with how he played. So, I mean, the game looks bad for him in a vacuum in a short term, but overall, in the consensus of the whole body of the work of the season, I think a lot was on his plate this season, and he was more overhyped than he was overrated because he still brought him to the playoffs. He brought that Chargers team from the dirt. I mean, they were with Brandon Staley the year before, like they weren't making playoffs. They were charging it up, or Chargers going to charge or whatever they say, and like they were choking games away and stuff last year, and it was kind of like a lost season. And this year he started to get some. With having that young receiver with him, Lad McConkey.
I was gonna say, who will tell you that probably that Justin Herbert played like an MVP. Lad McConkey, man, almost 200 yards.
Yeah, so
in that game,
I'm not. Yeah, for me, I'm not ready to call him overrated yet. I just for this season, towards just overhyped.
Well, it just doesn't help that his only solid receiving. Option.
Imagine if they bring in a T. Higgins or somebody in the offseason.
Man. They tried that with DJ Shark, and he didn't really do much.
But DJ Shark is also older. He's injury prone.
I guess, T. Higgins only 25, so it'd be interesting to see like what they look to do. Because I mean,
what do you think about Herbert though? Do you think he's overrated, or what do you think? Taking away from his game.
I mean, I don't even rate him. I just don't think.
You don't fear him, kind of? He's not a threat to you?
No, I think if you look at the AFC West, I mean, you got Pat Mahomes. I guess you got to put him as number 1, right? And then I think you got Bo Nix now.
Okay, so you got Bo Nix ahead of Herbert?
I got Bo Nix ahead of Herbert.
I think that could be an argument.
That's definitely an argument I'm ready to sit down and talk and have with somebody, especially the fact
Chad, let us know what you think. Do you have Bo Nix ahead of Herbert in the AFC West as far as quarterback rankings?
Right.
If you'd like to know, let us know in the chat.
Let us know.
But so yeah. Thanks.
No, but then I got I got oh shoot, getting ahead of time. I got Herbert is number 3, you know, obviously because the Raiders don't even have a quarterback really.
They just have a guy that throws the ball.
Yeah, but you know what? Hey, let's take a break really quick, and then we'll get into these. We'll keep these previews going or reviews going. We'll preview. So we'll talk about the Texans next game.
Yeah, because they were moving on. If you didn't catch it this weekend, they defeated the LA Chargers. I don't remember the score, but
it was
32 to
32.
Okay.
Would
you consider that a blowout, or is that just
definitely blew them out? They had them blown out in like the second quarter. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. It was like, oh man.
Yeah, that first quarter was a little touch and go there. Both teams feeling each other out, but by the third quarter, it was broke that thing wide open.
And that's kind of what you saw from all the teams. I felt like that was a theme, man. These teams, the top teams, just kind of use those first quarters, the first quarter, the first 2 quarters.
They're feeling each other out.
Yeah, to see what was going on and see how, you know, what the other team was doing. And then, boom, they came alive, you know, and halfway through the third quarter and just started hitting them with the haymakers and kind of taking the game over. So, yeah, but let's go ahead and get into this promo really quick for Break GPT. And then on the other side, we'll come back and we'll talk about this Texans-Chiefs game and get that going. So, chat, if you got any comments or any thoughts or feelings about this Chiefs-Texans game, let us know. All of you guys are tuning in. You're watching Fantasy Reports on Shady Sports Network. I'm your bus driver, Cedric Green. Got my co-pilot, Justin. And we're just taking you around the block, man. We're just keeping it going. So, like I said, when we come right back, we'll be talking Texans and Chiefs. So stick with us, hang tight, and see you in a second.
Good luck, everyone here. Oh my Lord, who is this? Joe Burrow! Joe Burrow! AFC North smoked it right here, baby. Fanatics, authenticated Joe Burrow on the speed, incredible hit, going to Alpha Wolf. Congratulations, Alpha.
Oh my God, Joe Burrow! It would be it. Oh man, we gotta get Shawnee on to see what he got.
Yes, sir.
I remember he had ordered something, so be reaching out to him. Hopefully, get him on here to see what.
I'm still working on mine. Still working on those funds.
Same, man. You know, trying to get it all together. So you guys want to donate towards our Break Sheet PT fund? Send it, right?
Yeah, one championship this year of fantasy, so I got some money.
Hey, right? Got a little bit set to the side. But guys, yeah. So like I said, on the other side, we're gonna talk this Texans Chiefs game, man. Whew. I don't know, man. Texans come out like that.
An Arrowhead?
I think they could smack the Chiefs.
Chiefs haven't played. Well, starters haven't played since Christmas. So, You think they're gonna have any dust and rust?
I mean, we'll see how Taylor Swift looks. I'm pretty sure she's been doing her routine and keeping it tight. So I'm sure she'll be ready in full force. So
Texans can't start slow like they did this weekend if they want to have even a sniff of winning. They're gonna have to put 14 on them fast.
But at the same time, man, I remember
that defense plays as well as it does. Pressures Mahomes, gets in his head. They put up some points, maybe off a turnover, like another pick six or something.
Yeah,
man, they can swing that game in a hurry.
I remember the last time the Texans went into Arrowhead in the playoffs, man. Same situation, I feel like, with Deshaun Watson, and they came out and they struck fast, and the Chiefs ran out of fireworks. They scored so many touchdowns, man.
But I think the edge goes to the Texans right now because that defense is playing with their heads on fire. Like they're playing like a different defense. That team that took the Chiefs on, like you mentioned early, like last playoffs they were in together. Like that defense was pretty good. It was okay, but this one is playing hot right now. They're playing with some fire.
They're playing like somebody lit a bunch.
And I don't know. With Mahomes having 3 weeks off, do you think he plays the same? Kelsey gets it going right away. I mean, I think we'll find out a lot about how that game goes after the first possession. Because no matter what, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and they find a way to crawl back and win when they can. But if they get smacked in the mouth, it's going to be much harder.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I think you just got to play your game against them, man. You just got to come out, not worry about it.
I think they got to play loose,
out.
man. Not stress, no pressure on them. They're the underdogs in this matchup. They're the ones they're trying to send the champs home. Just give them their best shot. Just fire it away. Like, it's win or go home. Just put it all out there this week.
Just let it go. Yeah.
But don't be reckless. Let it go. Just, let Nico do his thing downfield. Let Mixon run it for about 100 yards and a touchdown. Just keep the turnovers to a minimum with Stroud. Don't make any forceful plays and let that defense cook.
Yep. There you go. I like that, man. Just come on. Let that.
On the Chiefs side of the ball, I think it's bend, don't break. You just got to let the Texans stay within reach. If they get a touchdown or get a field goal.
Slow down Joe Mixon.
Don't get rattled. Just stay within yourselves and know what you present to the table, what you have to show, and don't play outside your game. Do what you got to do, and rely on your playmakers to get you that win.
Yeah, no, I think they got to figure out who their running back's going to be too.
How's the weather? Is it going to be another cold game?
Oh shoot, let me see. Hold on, I went away from that game. It's going to be an Arrowhead, so it probably is going to be a cold game. It's at 2:30. Well, I guess 3:30 your time.
Yeah,
it'll be windy. It'll be windy.
Yeah, I know it's cold and windy up here, man. Good Lord.
Yeah. It'll be windy. So probably it was pretty nice out here today. It actually wasn't too bad in like the 40s and 50s.
So if it's windy, do you think it's going to be harder for these two quarterbacks to throw the ball around, or they rely on the run more?
Which is good with the Texans,
has the
man.
edge between the running backs, Pacheco or Mixon?
Mixon. Only because Mixon is top dog.
Yeah.
Over there, you still got Kareem Hunt too lurking in the backfield. So, they kind of still try to mix it in and see who has the hot hand.
But Mixon's a dog. He's the workhorse. He's the beast over there.
Exactly, and I think that really, really helps out CJ Stroud. I feel like he had a talk with him, like, yo, like, just feed me. Don't worry, like, and you'll get your throws. Just get it in. So,
use that recipe of maintain possession of the ball. Don't let Mahomes get too many possessions. Run the clock. Manage the game. Put points up where you can, and don't make any mistakes, because that's where the Chiefs will get you. You make a mistake or you fail on a drive, and they'll put points up on you.
Oh, wrong one.
If they can keep also the crowd noise down and keep the fans out of it as long as possible, that'll be only to their benefit as well.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely,
because we know that Arrowhead could get jumping if they get a full steam ahead of them.
Yeah, so I guess that would benefit coming out and starting fast. You know what I mean? Maybe kind of quiet down that crowd, and that'll.
Who do you think has the edge for special teams, though? You got Fairbairn having the better game. Is it Bucker, the clutch kicker, or what do you feel about this punt game and this
Bucker
kicking
now?
game?
Man, I feel like, Bucker's been the punter, but I feel like the Chiefs have gone through like 5 different kickers this season.
Well, they still win. It's crazy. It don't matter who they put back there.
They've been some close games, man, and it gets a little bit tighter, a little bit harder in the playoffs. So, but they've been here.
Do you think it comes down to a field goal, or where are you going with this game? Where do you think?
I don't know, man. Like, oh gosh, Chiefs, Texans. Man, I think the Chiefs are gonna kind of overwhelm the Texans. They have a bit of a better receiving core than their line sucks. Their line isn't the best. Their offensive line isn't the best. They don't suck.
So right now, probably the best wide receiver for the Chiefs would you say is Worthy or Hopkins?
Is Hollywood Brown hurt?
No, he's good to go. He's healthy. He's gonna play.
I'd say it's probably him or
probably Hollywood. I still like Nico over any of the Chiefs wide receivers this weekend.
Oh yeah, totally.
I think Nico's the better wide receiver.
Definitely the best wide receiver on that field this weekend. But what I'm saying is the Chiefs have more wide receivers.
Yeah, so you would take their 3 to the Texans 1.
Plus they have Kelsey. Still have Travis Kelsey.
Who do you cover? Do you focus on the speedster and Worthy? Do you double up Hopkins because he's the big play threat too, or do you
Or you're watching Hollywood Brown because he's possessing guy. I mean, what are you doing? Are you watching?
I think
Travis
that's the
Kelce
edge, though,
he does
because
whatever he wants?
if the Texans defense takes advantage of that, lets Mahomes try to take a shot and they get a pick six or interception at the least and flip the field. I mean, that could be a tactic they could utilize too, is baiting Mahomes to make that big throw, have a safety come over the top, pick it off. Just have the corners play man, and have that safety come up to help if they read or see something in Mahomes' eyes. I think that could be an advantage to the Texans. But, that's playing with fire, though, because you could get burned with Hollywood or with Worthy,
That's what I'm saying. So we'll see what happens because Mahomes knows how to read the field. And they, like I said, they've been here before. They're going for their three-peat right now. So it's not like, I mean, Texans have been here too. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I mean, it's kind of the same – kind of similar situation the Texans went up against last season. You got to get over these big dogs. They went up against Baltimore. You got to. And
you saw with the Lions, it took a couple years. You get to that point, it takes a couple of years to get over that hump. So, I'm not saying by any means that the Texans are dead in the water here. They don't have a shot. I think they have an opportunity to take advantage of a team that's been resting for 3 weeks, and might start off slow.
To see. What they do though, because I don't think they're gonna win this game.
You don't? You're taking the Chiefs?
I think the Chiefs are gonna pull it out.
Maybe that's good for your Broncos. You're like the charm for you. You went with the Chargers last week. They lost.
Right.
Go with the Chiefs this week.
And then they'll lose, right? Yeah. Who are you going with?
I'm feeling a little bit spicy, Sad. I'm feeling a little spicy. I think in a close one, I'm gonna go for the Texans this week.
Oh man.
I think they can pop off. They have a lot of momentum coming off of that home win, first playoff game of Wild Card Weekend, and like how well that defense was playing, how well Stroud turned like he flipped a switch, like figured out how to throw the ball again and find his receivers, and then Mixon he's healthy, he's running solid, getting in the end zone. Like I think there's a lot to say to that. A team taking, I know the experience and I know the story, the plot line. That they've been here, they've done that and everything. But to me, I like vibes, and I'm feeling vibes. And a team that's been sitting for 3 weeks, it has some effect to it. There's a point between resting and like resting too much. And I'm not saying that the Chiefs are resting too much, but I just think that if you underestimate or look past these Texans because you have them in your pocket, you've had them in the past, you've beaten them before, you've beaten them multiple times, like that could come back to bite you because if they're looking up at the scoreboard before halftime and it's like 14-7, 14-3, or like 14-10, and the Texans getting the ball coming out of half, I mean, it could be scary. You're down 2 possessions before the next time you get the ball, and there's only so much time on the clock. So I think I'm going to take the advantage of the team with momentum and the team that's playing off a big win over the team that's rested for however long now since Christmas.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be pretty close. I'm going to go with like a 27-24 game.
Okay. Cool. All right. Cool. So, yeah, that went.
How about you? Where you going? You got a score or you taking the Chiefs?
I'm just gonna take Chiefs. I don't know what the score will be. I think it'll probably.
It's gotta happen at some point, though. Said right? They gotta fall off at some point, right?
Well, they definitely do. I think it's gonna be in the AFC Championship game.
You want that Bills or Ravens smackdown?
Yeah, the Ravens smackdown on them. But,
so you can see the Houston Texans at least softening them up, and then next week, if they win this week, they go play next week. They'll be a little battered and bruised and weary.
Yeah. Yo, let's take a promo break real quick.
Cool.
All you new guys are just tuning in. You're watching fantasy football.
Thank you, everybody tuning in. Feel free to drop in the chat, man.
Yes, please jump in. Who you got this weekend? You taking the Chiefs or you taking the Texans? Which team are you going for?
Feeling spicy?
I don't know why I said the Chiefs. I don't even know why I would pick the Chiefs. Like that was stupid on my part. But I just feel like
I thought you were a Broncos fan.
I know if we're picking, gotta take emotion out of it, right? I can't have emotion in this. But yeah, no, we're gonna take a promo break really quick, guys. Those of you that tune in, keep tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button. Please share. It doesn't take anything. But it helps out really.
Please. If you like us, share us with somebody.
Yeah. See a friend, tell a friend, please. Keep it going. So here we go. We'll be back in a couple seconds. In a little bit, guys. See you on the other side. Yes, guys, go check it out. ShadySportsNetwork.com, www.ShadySportsNetwork.com. For more than just football reports, more than just NBA reports, but like total sports coverage. I mean, we got so many different leagues that we're covering. I promise. I feel like you'll find something you like there. There's arena leagues. You'll probably find a team that's right up the road from you that you never even know about. That plays every spring. So, especially if you love football. We're big on that, but we cover other things as well too. I know Monday night we have our wrestling show. So yeah, check us out. I promise you there's something you like. Or go over to YouTube and look up Shady Sports Network and you'll see our channel and see we have so many shows dating back the past few years. So there's tons of stuff.
Flavor
live
for everybody
shows as well too. Something for everyone. So yeah, so all right. So we were talking, that was the first game going down on Saturday. Moving over to the next game, and then we'll jump back. So, we got the Commanders, your Lions finally coming in. They're like, you know what? We're just gonna get both these guys. You had it off. We're gonna get you both playing. Get it out of the way
hungry
on Saturday. So, got these guys going Saturday night, Commanders and Lions. So we'll jump back to probably the definitely the closest game at least of the wild card.
It was my favorite game of the wild card.
Probably
weekend.
The most wild game, right? Of the weekend. So we got the Commanders and the Buccaneers. Commanders winning that game, of course, 23-20 over the Buccaneers. What were your thoughts on that game? How did you feel about that game? Do you think Jaden Daniels kind of, I know it's supposed to be over at the end of the season, but do you think he really kind of solidified his Rookie of the Year status with that game?
I mean,
I think he did, I guess.
He did have a better game than Bo Nix, so I think he has the edge right now in the offensive Rookie of the Year. Had the Broncos come out with the win, Bo Nix played out of his mind. I think that conversation is a little bit different, but it is how it is. They go off of L's and stats and, all that, this, that, and the other thing, regardless. So I think right now, Jaden has that edge of offensive Rookie of the Year. And he was clutch. He came up in the clutch. They had to have a game-winning drive at the end of the game. Their defense held firm, held the Buccaneers to a field goal. They marched down the field. They go for it, and they get rewarded. That was confidence. And that team, that coach has their players playing like the reflection of what I see with the Lions. They're buying in. They're playing for each other. They're playing with confidence, and they're trusting each other on both sides of the ball to come up with big plays and come up with clutch moments. So I think my takeaway from that game, Jaden was clutch. But that defense also held firm because Mayfield was playing out of his mind coming into the playoffs. He was balling out. He was slinging it everywhere, and Mike Evans was taking everybody out just to the parking lot and beating them up. Like, he was just getting touchdowns and just doing his thing, getting his stats all padded up. So I think the Buccaneers had the momentum going into it, but that slow start from the Bucs and not finishing drives really killed them because the Commanders took advantage of that. Whenever the Bucs stalled out on a drive, the Commanders went down, and if it was not putting up 3 points, they're at least flipping the field and making it harder for the Bucs to march down the field themselves to put up points. So I think they took advantage of that. They kept the crowd mostly out of the game. They kept the game script more in their favor and neutralized, all the noise metaphorically and in front of them. And I think the Commanders impressed me. I think the Bucs disappointed me a little bit. I thought coming into this game they would put up a lot of points. It'd be a score fest. It'd be like a 45-30 kind of a game, something like that. But that turnover by Baker Mayfield late in the game, that was a killer. And that ended up being the nail in the coffin for them because up to that point, both teams were playing turnover-free football. I mean, there was a sack here or there, a negative play, but it wasn't anything that flipped the field like that.
He was in the red zone too when he had that fumble, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because the Commanders just went for it.
He just run for a first down.
The previous drive, and they failed on convert on downs. So
yeah,
it's like it's wild how that all went down. I mean, if the Buccaneers score a touchdown on that drive before the game-winning drive with the Commanders, it's probably a different story. But no, that defense impressed me. They, Mike Evans had his. He got his touchdown and everything, but for the most part, they kept all those other playmakers in front of him and limited Baker's escapability and his like improvising and his playmaking ability. And they shocked us. They put up and stunned the Bucs and their fans at home, and now they have to go on the road and slay another dragon. And this dragon's the NFC North champ. It's the number 1 seed in the NFC, and they're trying to play for more, and it's going to be a very, very exciting matchup between two hungry teams.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because just to really not touch, you kind of touched really well on this Commanders Bucks game, but it was the only upset of the weekend, and it didn't even feel like an upset, right? Like if Tampa Bay would have won, it would have been the upset, and they were the division leader. So that was a pretty wild. I think the outcome was pretty telling of where these two teams kind of played during the season. And I mean, I feel like Jaden Daniels had a very Baker Mayfield type of game, right?
It was weird how that turned out. Like it's like almost they switched jerseys.
Yep. And then, like you said, so just to move on from that, we know the outcome on that game. But yeah, moving forward, we got the Commanders versus the Lions Saturday night, 6 p.m. over here in the mountains, 7 p.m. where you are, and then 8 p.m. over on the East Coast. Just to touch on all of them, what is that, 5 p.m. on the West Coast? That's an early game. Dang, over there, like 5. I thought 6 was early. But I guess 8 is pretty late if you think about it. But like you said, we kind of got and then the Lions picked up Teddy Bridgewater too. I guess they're gonna hopefully
just some insurance, just some security. Get that veteran presence in the locker room, boost the morale, and just keep the vibes rolling.
Yeah. Do you think we'll see a healthy dose to Montgomery?
Oh man. That run defense for the Washington Commanders better bring their A game, because if they don't, it's going to be another 4 touchdowns for Gibbs and then probably another 2 for Montgomery. The formula to beat the Commanders: keep the ball out of Jaden's hands, limit their possessions, and just run the rock right through them all the way to the Ford Field.
Hey, they can run it too, though.
And they will, and they're going to, because they have the better offensive line, they have the better running backs, and they're gonna dictate the terms of the game. If the Commanders can't stop the pushback from that offensive line and get to Jared Goff and get a couple short yardage stops from these running backs majority of the time and contain them and force Goff to throw the ball to his wide receivers, it could be a runaway score fast, because if in a blink of an eye, if the Commanders don't score on a possession, it could be 10-0, 14-0, because the Detroit Lions just march right down the field and punch that ball in. Because I think they're going for touchdowns. They're not changing character. They're putting up points. They're going to just light up the scoreboard. And that's not to put any disrespect on the Commanders at all. It's just they're a team that's on a mission. They have one goal, and it's the Super Bowl, and they will destroy anyone and take anyone out that's in front of them. You saw it on the game before the playoffs with the Vikings. They were, all talk that their defense can't do this. The Vikings are better than that. And they overcame that hump. They got past that demon, and they sent a message to the league that, yes, we can run with the top dogs on the offense, and we can get through your top defense if your defense, is playing out of their mind also. You You have to be flawless. You have to be perfect. You can't make mistakes. And you have to take advantage of every single time you have the ball on offense if you're the Commanders. That is the only way they win this game, is if every drive they're scoring points and if they stop the Lions 1 or 2 times. Otherwise, man, good luck, because
it's supposed to snow. Does that change?
They're in the Dome. It's at Ford Field.
Oh, yeah.
This is in the Lions' house.
Oh, man. So what's your prediction on the score from this game?
Okay, if I think it's going to go the way I think it's going to go, it's probably going to be like a 45-21 or 45-17 or like a 35-20. Like, it's good. If the Lions play their football, this game will be decided before halftime. It will be in their pocket and for theirs, in their control by halftime. But that being said, if the Commanders can do those things I listed, this game could be a lot tighter. It could be like a 35-31 or 34-33. Like, it could be a bigger, closer shootout if, they take advantage of those opportunities that the Lions are to give them, if there's any mistakes or turnovers, you know what I mean? Like, but that's asking a lot of Jaden Daniels in this offense, going on the road in that environment with that team that they're playing against on the other side of the ball. Like, we all know what kind of team the Lions are. They're smash mouth North football that if you aren't going to take them seriously or like really proceed with caution and, be excellent, that they will absolutely destroy you. And they won't feel bad about it. So, I like this matchup, though, because I see the potential. I can see it being a score fest. I can see it being a really good game. It could be a game that, it surprises the Lions at first, and the Commanders could, take it to them in the beginning and really make them run for it, literally and figuratively, make the Lions run for it. But all in all, I'm still going with my team. I know it's a long-winded answer. Going with the Lions. I think they'll take it. I think they'll take it handedly. And they'll move on to the NFC Championship game, and with the hopes and aspirations of getting over that hump into the Super Bowl.
There we go. And what'd you say you had for the score?
You think, with Michael in consideration, I think the Commanders make it a good game. I don't think it's going to be like any of these wild card games that we saw from over the weekend, where it's like just no shows and just dumpsters on some of these offenses. I think they'll hold their own, they'll hold their water, but it's still going to be a humbling moment.
Anything else you want to say on it? I know these are your guys.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for this. I've been waiting a whole week see who the matchup was. I was excited that it was the Commanders. I mean, the Commanders fans were excited that it's Detroit that they'll be playing. Did you see the viral video of them in the concourse after the game, requesting that they want Detroit? So I think both teams are going to be hungry. Both fan bases are going to be passionate, and it's going to make for some really good football to watch on a Saturday night.
Yeah, it's like, be careful what you wish for. But hey, you got to start somewhere, right?
And I hope both teams come out healthy regardless. No more injuries, no more like devastating, stuff like that. Hope they come out as unbattered and healthy as possible.
There you go.
Because, Lions can't afford any more injuries. We don't need any more of those. And then I don't want to see anyone on the Commanders getting hurt either. I want it to be a good, clean, rock'em sock'em, old Commanders Lions football game. Because, in the past, they've met in the playoffs before in the 90s, and it went the Commanders' way, different team name at the time, but it went their way before. But here's the deciding factor. In those 3 games that they played them in the playoffs, they're in the Commanders' house. They're in Washington's house. This time, they're in their house.
Oh, man.
They're in the Lions' den. So they have that going for them, which I think that place is going to be nuts.
Yeah. Is this the first playoff game there in how many years?
No, they played 2 of them last year. They
You're right.
You're
You're right. Yes, yeah, I'm so stupid. We are just talking about that. Anyway,
it's all good.
Yeah. So anything else you want to touch on from that?
Well, I could go all night on this game, but
right.
I'll keep
yeah,
it.
So
I'll keep it here, and I'm hoping for a good game.
There we go.
And I look forward to watching it so much. I can't wait. I'll see if I can swing it, Chad. I'll see if I can swing it on socials, if I can get a Discord voice channel chat going and we have a live game commentary for it. But no promises yet, but I'll keep an eye on the socials, and I'll let you know if I can or cannot.
I could be down for that. We can see.
Okay.
Depending on how it plays, same. We'll have to see how the schedule looks. So, but I could be down for that. That could be fun. All right, guys. So we're gonna take a quick promo break, and then when we come back, I
want to hear your prediction on the Lions Commanders game when we get back.
We'll give my prediction when we come
Before
back.
we move on
the other side, and then after the prediction, we'll move on to the Eagles-Rams game. So we'll be touching back on the Eagles, Packers, and Rams. Vikings. We kind of touched on the Viking game already, but we'll touch more on those real quick and then keep it moving along, guys.
Thanks for joining us and sticking with us.
There you go. Thanks for joining us. You're watching Fantasy Reports on Shady Sports Network. And stay tuned. We'll be right back, guys. So hit that like button and catch us on the other side.
Fantasy football fanatics, get ready to dominate your league. Tune into the Fantasy Football Reports every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. and Sunday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're breaking down injury updates, who to start or sit, trade strategies, and lineup advice to help you crush the competition. So don't miss the inside scoop. Find Fantasy Football Reports on your favorite social media platform, live on the Shady Sports Network. Your championship starts here.
Yes. We'll have to get one going for the NBA season, man.
Yeah, hop on and join us on that bandwagon.
Yeah, jump on that bandwagon. We've been on that bandwagon every week, telling you what's going on in the NBA, what's hot, what's not with the Timberwolves.
Is the schedule staying the same here, Sed? Did we go over that for post-NFL?
Pretty much for the most part. Okay. It'll be Tuesday nights. We'll be catching it up Tuesday nights, and then we'll see if we can do Sunday nights too. But there may be some changes in scheduling coming up. We'll know more in the next couple of weeks or so as we go into it, but we'll see if how Tuesday nights do. That was my only thing with the NBA because it's so fast paced.
There's so many games. I think there's like 2, 3, sometimes 4 games in a week.
Yeah, so I guess it'll give us a lot to look back for, I guess, and catch up on. But we'll just kind of try to keep you guys up with it as much as we can. We're not analysts or anything like that.
We're just couch coaches here. We're talking ball about our favorite teams, our favorite players, and all the news around the league and all that stuff. So feel free to contribute to those chats and conversations as well. And if you want to, take on the challenge, we got spots left in our fantasy basketball league. We're looking to start up for next year. So I think the link may be in the description here, but regardless, reach out to one of us at Teixeira on Sleeper or at Set over here on Sleeper or whatever, and we can get you in the league. We'll send you an invite.
There we go. You can find me.
Same with the football league too. We still got a few spots left.
Yeah. So we'll get that pumping up too for next season. So get on in there, guys. I know a lot of you, and thanks for that like button. Whoever that was, we just got a like on Facebook, so that's cool. That's from you, Justin. There we go. So keep it moving.
Not getting on the promo.
Me on my toes. But yeah, no, guys. So my prediction on the Lions Texans game, I'm gonna go with the Lions. And then I just kind of see the Lions coming out on top. Keeping it clean, 35. Actually, no, give them a touchdown, 38. 28, 28.
I like it because I like that concept that they, it's still competitive. It isn't going to be like an absolute drubbing. It's going to be competitive.
No, this is the divisional round. It's supposed to be a little bit more competitive. I don't think we'll see really any drubbings. We'll see a lot of hard-fought battles. Moving along. So, coming up, we got the Eagles on Sunday. I think it's the first game on Sunday. We got the Eagles versus the Rams. Man, Rams running hot, right? Eagles kind of, stumbling so much. So not so hot, but still they came out with a win against the Packers, 22-10.
Did you end up seeing AJ Brown's final stats for that game too?
So AJ Brown came out of that game.
I think he only had 1 catch.
one catch for 10 yards, and he was reading a book. His book was also a 1 as it jumped up to number 1 seller.
Really?
What that book was.
Can we get AJ Brown as a sponsor? Like he can like put like wears like some Shady Sports stuff on his
right. Just sit there in the
whatever,
sideline.
like throw some.
Well,
Imagine our numbers going through the roof.
Smith had 4 catches for 55 yards.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, Jalen Hurts had a whopping 131 yards. You know, he wasn't lighting it up exactly. But man, Saquon Barkley, he looked decent too. You know, he had
He looked like a team player out there.
yards.
He could have ran the ball and like put up points, but he slid in the final play. That's dope. That's humbling. That's a leader right there. That's a team player.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of shows us, you know, the Packers, man, they need, you know, more receivers. They need really some
maybe a quarterback.
Ooh, I don't know, man. You know, like, you know,
how you feeling on Love? Were you like, look at it, he had just as bad a game as Justin Herbert,
right? You know, I don't really care about the NFC so much, but you're right. I mean, nah, you know, but he got him there though. That's the thing. Like, they were there last year as well too. Like, they're getting.
Do you think the Eagles have their number though? They beat them at the first game of the year, and they beat them in the playoffs. Do you think they just have their number? They just know something about the Packers that how to beat them. They got
like,
that recipe.
Our green is better than your green.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah.
Jalen Hurts had so much time to throw the ball too. Like, his offensive line was playing out of his mind, or maybe the Packers just weren't able to like get the pressure. But it looked really one-sided there in the trenches. It was the defensive line of the Eagles getting to Jordan Love, and it was Jalen Hurts just having all day to throw.
And he still didn't make the throws, right?
He's not my quarterback.
Right? Oh, man. But, I mean, looking back on that, so then we'll jump over to the Rams game.
Damn.
Rams
damn.
Damn, just damn, right? From the beginning, right? Just
well, it was funny in the papers over where I'm at, the headline was Rams sacked. was the headline.
They Rams sacked. Man, if Justin Herbert was seeing ghosts, man, Sam Darnold was trying.
Sam Darnold was seeing goats.
He was seeing goats. Because 9 sacks, man.
That's wild. Like, that offensive line was getting bullied.
That's gotta hurt. 1 interception.
That Rams defensive line is very impressive, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what that damage they could do against that Eagles offensive line, because you saw how well the Eagles did containing the Packers pass rush, but on the other side, you saw how just venomous that Rams defense was getting to Sam Darnold, making him throw, like, move his feet. Like, you saw he wasn't comfortable. He was constantly getting harassed, getting bumped, getting hit, getting thrown down. It was a message setting game. Like, the Rams are serious, man. Like, coming into the playoffs, I didn't know what team was going to show up, like what Rams, because we've seen
they have
2
their
different
little
Rams
mini
all
bye.
season.
Sean McVay gave him their mini bye, man.
Yeah.
Is he a Hall of Fame coach or what?
I think he's got a good argument. He's won the Super Bowl. He gets his teams ready for the playoffs every year. He gets them there. And, you know, it doesn't look pretty most of the season, but regardless, he does his damage this late in the year in the playoffs. He finds a way. I mean, it's going to be a great matchup between him and Sirianni, that coaching chess match, and see how that goes. But I mean, I'd throw his hat in the ring. I mean, I don't know if it's right away, like,
not yet, but I can see,
like,
you know,
if he continues this and doing well and rides off the sunset with Stafford and Cooper and those guys and keeps playing well and maybe winning another championship at some point.
I was going to say, I think another championship would definitely help.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, there's a lot of coaches who never gotten to one, you know, that they're still hoping for the one. I mean, does John Harbaugh
my question
have
to you from this Rams Vikings game?
Yeah.
Was it more of the Rams players played better than the Vikings players as a team, or was it Sean McVay outcoached Kevin O'Connell?
I think that scheming, man, just the coaching, like I think they were just schemed up a lot better than the Vikings. I think the Vikings, obviously 9 sacks, man, you got to change something up, right? Yeah, like the 4th sack, you got to be like, hold on now.
And then they're running the ball up
these throws
up the middle of my champion.
But that was a lot of Sam Darnold too, man. I think the moment was too big for Sam Darnold, his first playoff game.
I think the Lions broke the Vikings last week.
Yeah.
I think the Vikings were riding high. You saw them celebrating in the locker room before that Lions game. After that big Packers win, they're, fluffing themselves up, looking all good, and then they just get absolutely just destroyed by their division rivals, lose the NFC North, then have to go on the road on a Monday night, and then have to go again, fly out to Arizona and play there with no rest and against a team that's, Sean McVay, like you said, rested his starters, came out fresh, and you could definitely see from the get-go that one team was fresher than the other for sure.
Yeah.
But my curiosity thing from the game, though, too, is for the most part, the wide receivers on both teams were awfully quiet. Cooper Kupp, Puka, Addison,
Puka,
and
I think Puka
all
had
those
a
guys
decent game. I feel like Puka had a decent game.
But it wasn't like a stellar. It was like a playoff, like defining game. It was like they're both teams' wide receivers were just kind of,
Yeah. Well, you saw Justin Jefferson, man. They asked him about the quarterback, and he was just like, "Well, whoever my quarterback is, I'm still gonna play."
Do you think he pulls a Randy Moss and wants to get the hell out? Go win.
Oh man, see, that's what I'm
else?
saying. I could see him going to like the Commanders.
Yeah.
But I mean,
you see the look on his face. He wants to win. He's a competitor.
Yeah.
He's hungry.
And I mean, I think he's gonna see what JJ McCarthy does, though.
Man, JJ McCarthy better put on some weight and hit the gym because he's gonna have to throw the ball in this league. He isn't gonna be able to get away with what he did at Michigan and have them play stellar defense and just rely on running the ball because behind Aaron Jones, if they decide to keep him after this offseason, they don't have anybody, maybe Cam Akers on 2 repaired legs, but they don't have a significant threat running game. So JJ is going to have to throw the ball, and he's going to have to – you're asking a lot out of him going into next season to play better than Sam Darnold this year. Sam Darnold had an excellent regular season. He played out of his mind. He caught me. I wasn't expecting this type of year from Sam Darnold. I wasn't expecting him to play as well as he did, and then have a rookie coming off an injury to do at minimum the same that Darnold did, like taking him to a potential NFC North title.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. He probably wants out. You're right.
Like that's a hard ask. That's a hard sell because Sam Darnold's a bigger quarterback than JJ McCarthy, and Sam Darnold got killed last night. Put JJ McCarthy in that game last night, and he probably has a broken collarbone and he's definitely feeling it today because he doesn't look built like an NFL player. Like outside of pads, he looks like just a dude. But that still remains to be seen. I'll give him his benefit of the doubt because he had one good preseason game before the injury. He looked really good. But the Vikings have a lot of questions that need to be answered this offseason, and it starts with their roster building and their retooling and how they're going to address some of their deficiencies that came up this year. I mean, that offensive line really let them down. They're going to have to address that. Their running back room kind of went soft or cold towards the end of the year, and they're going to have to address that, which direction they want to go in. And then the top one, the quarterback, what are they going to do? Are they going to roll with J.J. McCarthy? Are they going to stick with Darnold? They got Daniel Jones there too in case of emergency and break glass, which is, I don't know, whatever side you sit on that fence, if you think that's a good security blanket or not. And then also you got to factor in too, if how you mentioned in the news earlier, are some of their coaches going to get rated from other teams? Are they going to, like Brian Flores, is he going to move on and move somewhere else and take an opportunity there? Is that OC assistant guy you said, is he going to go to Seattle and move on from there? Because ultimately that will affect how that team functions and molds and gels for next season if pieces are removed from that, some significant pieces that help them get to where they got to this year. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm JJ. I mean, it's definitely a thought. I'll say it's definitely something you're thinking about.
Yeah. All right. Well, just to keep it moving. So, moving along. So yeah, we got the Rams versus the Eagles. What are your thoughts on this game? I feel like I'll let you go. What are your thoughts?
I was still thinking about it. If you have it on the tip of your tongue, you feel free to go. I'm still
I was
thinking.
gonna say, I just feel like the Rams playing the way they are. If they come out that hot, man, and they I think they got this. I think the Eagles get let down again. And they're going to another offseason debating and thinking about what they're gonna do and trying to figure out who they need to let go. To
Fighting with each other and going after it, like just all that,
I think if the Rams can get their running game going, I think we'll really see some solid play from them, man. Because I mean, look at them. They came in, they snuck in, they took the division. To end out the season. They came into the playoffs and they won their first game handedly. I mean, it looked just like the Lions playing. The Vikings.
They took a different approach to the playoffs that the Eagles did. The Eagles started off hot, rolling in games. Rams started off slow, where they were 1-4, and then picked it up and started winning games. So, on paper, these teams are both evenly matched in the run game. Their wide receivers, their quarterbacks, the defensive, the special teams players. I think
Saquon. Well, actually, I don't know. I guess. Yeah, you're right. Maybe, Kyron Williams, Saquon, they're pretty evenly matched. I'd take either one. I'd probably take Saquon, though.
I would too. I'd take Saquon. But on paper, it seems like you could make a case for either side of like this one or that one. And then I think the edge, though, the Eagles have, they're playing at home in front of that crowd. I think the Eagles have this, though. I think they got this. I don't think A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith are going to have sub 100 games and only one touchdown between the two of them. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have to be more mobile. I think with that defensive pass rush from the Rams, he's going to have to move and make plays with his legs, get the ball up quicker. And I think he can do it. I think he's fully capable of that. And I think that measuring stick from last week with the Packers, they just kind of went through the motions. It seemed like they weren't challenged, I guess is the word. Like they weren't like they didn't at any time, I think, felt like uncomfortable or threatened, like, oh, we might lose this thing. Like they kind of just were like going through like the game, just like doing their thing. And I think that changes this week against the Rams. I think they're going to come after them. They're going to keep it honest and they're going to keep it close. But I like the playmakers on the Eagles more than I trust the playmakers on the Rams, if that makes sense. Like Saquon, A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, those guys, I feel, and the big play of Devonta over the top, and the defense with that experience and that playoff experience and that just overall like cohesion they got going. The Rams defense is relatively still young. They're fresh, they're raw, they're hungry, but they're going to be playing out on the road in colder weather, and they're not going to have that home field advantage behind them, so they're going to have to really dig and claw for whatever momentum they can get and hold on to it. But as I see this game could swing either way, I can see like the Rams taking it if all things fall into place and right for them. But I'm going to go with the Eagles on this one. I think they take care of business at home.
Okay. What you got for a score, man? Is it going to be a high-scoring game? They're going to keep it low-scoring? Is it going to be a no-touchdown game? The Rams can do that. They can squeeze it out. No touchdowns. Just
that's what I was going to say. This is going to be wild. I think like a 17-23 game.
Ooh, keep it low score.
Yeah, I think that's the ceiling. I mean, realistically, I could also see a 14-20 game, but or 17-20. But like, yeah, I think it's a one-score game. It's going to be close. I think both defenses play well to keep each other in check. So it's not going to be like what the Commanders-Lions game could be or the Chiefs-Texans game could be. I think this one's more contained and more like a slugfest, like a really like whoever has the ball last wins the game.
I could see that too. Yeah, I think it's going to be really calculated in the movements. It's going to be
come down to who uses their timeouts well, who manages the clock better, who limits the turnovers, and who can make that momentum swinging big play. Is it going to be Devonta Smith over the top for a 60-yard bomb, or is it going to be a Puka Nacua 40-yard bubble screen run-in? Is it going to be a Saquon goal line multi-touchdown game? Is it going to be a Stafford throw it all over the place 4-touchdown game? It's just whoever can be that X factor and just literally put their team on their back is gonna be the last one standing in this one.
It's gonna be a good game. Yeah, man. I'm there.
Who do you
with
like?
you.
Who you going with?
I think the Rams, man. Like I said, I got the Rams coming out with this.
Careful, Sam and them guys are watching you there.
I know, man. Hey, you guys want to come on and defend your team? Come on. Come on in.
Absolutely. I'd love to have those guys on.
Right? Hopefully we can get that roundtable going. But it would be
that's popping up Thursday night. I know last week, guys, we kind of had a reschedule thing, but that should be popping off Thursday.
Oh yeah.
So it's like this is the first time hearing about it.
Nah, it's not the first. Anyway, so I got the Rams coming in with that game. I got this, kind of a high scoring game.
Ooh.
We'll go, 42 to 38.
I got another hot take on this game if you can fill it, if you're okay with me filling it in with it.
Sure.
I think there's going to be a minimum of one missed field goal this game.
Ooh, I could see that too. That's what I'm saying. Like,
because I think it'll be windy there too, right? It's supposed to. I didn't check the weather, but I just got a sneaky feeling that special teams is going to play a huge factor, and I think a missed field goal or extra point or two is going to really swing the.
It's supposed to be rainy and snow.
Oh man, okay.
Be slushy. So it'll be a running game. We'll see.
You can hold me to that one. It's gonna be a special teams error, one missed field goal at least.
Puka Bubble Fest, Puka Bubble Screen Fest, all night. Let's move it on. Keep it moving, guys. Hey, we're gonna take a promo really quick, and then when we come back, we're gonna move on to our last divisional round game, the Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills. So we'll jump back, rewind, touch on that Baltimore Steelers game, and then the Buffalo Broncos game to close out the NFL. Close out the wild card weekend, and then we'll close out the divisional round with Buffalo versus the Bills. So we're gonna take this promo really quick, and then when we come back, that's what we'll be talking about. So guys, thanks for sticking with us. Don't forget to hit that like button.
Fill up that chat. Hit us with your questions and what you feel.
There you go.
How are you? Bring them things. I call the plug. Bring them things.
That's money. That's cash out.
Oh man. So as we move along into our last divisional round game, Buffalo versus Baltimore. There's two really, really similar teams right now. We'll rewind. We'll look back on that Baltimore Steelers game. Of course, Baltimore winning that game 28-14, just kind of stifling.
It wasn't as close as the box score would say.
Not at all, man. Baltimore came out from day one just ready to run all over the Steelers.
Dude,
I think King Henry
punched him into the turnbuckle and then threw him out the ring. First round.
Lamar Jackson almost had 100 rushing yards. King
Yep.
Henry had almost 200 rushing yards. I mean, Justice Hill, I mean, he didn't have that many rushing yards, but he still had a touchdown, a rushing touchdown. So come on, they came out of this game ready to dominate, especially, you know, kind of shake off those demons over a divisional rival in the Steelers. And that's what they did, man. They just took it over. Showed us, you know, Russ Wilson is not that guy.
Do you think he comes back to him next year?
No, maybe just because weird things happen, but they got Justin Fields too. I think they have to pay up Justin Fields. They have to figure out that 50-year option. So they'll probably be looking to pay him a little bit more and see what they have in him. Because they did just play him that one time in the first quarter, and then they didn't go back to it. So
any concerns with the Steelers? Like, what is your takeaway from their side of the ball after this game? Like, kind of limped
they
into
just
the
kind of
playoffs.
did what they do.
Great.
Yeah, they just kind of did what they do, man. That's what the Steelers do. They just kind of go into the playoffs and then just lose.
Oh, man, you're breaking Shawnee's heart here.
Oh, we made it to the playoffs, and that's good enough, right? We made it to the playoffs, though, right? But we had a winning season, though, right?
So Tomlin says it's the standard's the standard.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I think, you know, Tomlin only has like 1 or 2, maybe 3 more seasons like that in him, you know, left before they start.
You think the fan base is getting a little noisy and the
it's a weird team, you know, like they get super muddy throughout the middle of the season. You know, they have so much going on outside of.
Did you catch Pickens' comments after the game?
No, what did he say?
They asked him if he was confident about this team's offense going into next year, and he said, "No, I am not."
Oh, wow. Why do they always get some crazy wide receivers, man? Just like play your game, bro. Like all you gotta do is catch the ball. You gotta do is run your route. And I'm not saying
be an Amon-Ra St. Brown. Hey. Block on the run, catch the crucial catches, score them touchdowns.
Be where you're supposed to be. I promise, if you're where you're supposed to be, and
be a Terry McLaurin, be a Cortland Sutton, do your job, do it well, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, but you're also frustrated too when it's like, really, they should go out and get a solid number 1 quarterback and stop these reclamation projects. How are you
think Sam Darnold goes to the Steelers?
Ooh, no, don't do that. Like, just
don't do that.
See what you got in Justin Fields. If it's not him, then just have.
That's why I wish Shawnee was on here. We could get his take on what he feels about his team.
So, do you have anything you want to say on this? I want to get it moving, keep it moving.
I think the Ravens did by definition what it means when they say take care of business. They from the jump, get Lamar out in space, pound it down with Derrick Henry, suffocate with that defense, move on to next week. Like, it was clinical. It was MVP like by Lamar. It was like just top tier coaching by Jim Harbaugh. And they just outclassed a team that looked uninspired, sluggish, slow, discombobulated, just not like a team that we're used to seeing with these Steelers. Like, I used to grow up watching tough, defining Steeler football, and this just looked like they had a lack of spirit or pride. It just they were just happy to be there, kind of a thing.
Did TJ Watt play?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, whatever. Like, they didn't do anything. They ended up they still lost the game.
But so the Ravens got that hump off of them. They got over that, and they made a statement, and now they're moving on to take on a team that they're going to have to fire on all cylinders and play flawlessly against.
Man, let me tell you, same thing, you know, kind of same story with this team, you know, Buffalo against my Denver Broncos.
Oh, man.
In which case,
take this one. This is your team.
Hey, man, it's not depressing. You know what? We're just happy to be there. And we weren't even just happy to be there. We did go out there, and the way they played like they're just happy to be there. They just kind of gave up, you know, halfway through the third quarter, but that's neither here nor there. Whatever it is, what it was. You know, Bo Nix didn't have his best game.
I just wish they had a running game, because I feel like if they ran the ball more, they could have kept the ball out of Josh Allen's hands.
Our quarterback was the leading rusher with 43 yards.
Damn.
So, like, you know, compared to, you know, James Cook with 120 yards on 23 carries. If we had a bell cow that go out and get us, you know, 70, 80 yards at least, we'd probably look a little bit different. But that showed that we do have that glaring hole, and that's why I feel like Javonte Williams probably won't be back. If there's another route that could be had. So
how do you feel about that defense, though? Do you think they got kind of roughed up there, or they?
I think Vance Joseph was just kind of focused on maybe some interviews or something because they were not locked in, and it just seemed like they were just getting kind of burnt all over the place, man. Just kind of getting roasted all over the place. Like the middle of the field was open continuously all day.
I think that was a byproduct of them just being so preoccupied of not letting Josh Allen burn.
Yeah, and that's what happened against Baltimore too. The same thing happened against Baltimore. You didn't want to get beat by the quarterback, and it's like sometimes, like, man, let him run. Put a couple hits on him, and I guarantee you, Josh Allen ain't running that much. That's how you got to stop him. So, and that's why it's going to be interesting moving into this week, seeing Baltimore versus Buffalo. They're like, the prototype, kind of the same teams. Like, they are what you want from a mobile quarterback.
Does the winner of this game more than likely get the MVP?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's going to go to Josh Allen anyway, just because of what he's managed to do.
Even if Lamar goes in there
and he balls
Buffalo,
out, he deserves
not only
it.
does he beat Buffalo, but he beats Buffalo like he just did to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Like there's at least a case to be made that he's MVP.
I think the winner of this game is going to the Super Bowl. I'll say that.
Damn, hot take. Put it up in chat.
I'll say that. I'll put that up in chat right now.
That's hot. That's habanero level. That's like
I meant to put this up, but yeah, I think the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl.
All right. Damn. Even if the Chiefs pull it off,
I don't care about the Chiefs. The Chiefs are gonna get blown out by whoever wins this game. I'm telling you, man.
That's gotta be satisfying for you. So what would you? So maybe that's why you took the Chiefs this round, because you want to see that absolute just
blowout
and that they take from either Baltimore or Buffalo next week.
Where's their stadium? Was their stadium called Bacon?
Which one?
The Chiefs.
Arrowhead.
Yeah. They're gonna get blown out in Arrowhead next week. But yeah, no move. Yeah, so I think this game is potentially set up to be probably the best game of the weekend.
I'm definitely setting aside time of the day to watch this. Like can't miss football, guys. Like if you love football, even if your teams aren't in it no more, you're not competing. It's in the off season. Like this is going to be incredible.
It's
football
what you want, though, right? Like
this is like how it was hyped when the Bills played the Lions. Like
yeah. No, totally. And that game, stood the test of time too.
It showed up. Points were scored. It was I
don't know who's gonna win this game, man. I hope the Ravens win.
You're going with the Ravens.
I'm going with the Ravens.
Gosh, Shawnee would be so upset so disappointed.
I'm going with the Ravens, man, and high scoring game, man. What, like 56 to like 48.
A 50
They're just gonna go for it.
Oh my gosh. 56 to what?
Stop the game. They're literally gonna have to stop the game. So it's gonna be like
there's gonna be a mercy rule.
48. No, they're just time's gonna run out. But they're gonna keep scoring as many. Watch, it's gonna be like 13 to like 28 or something like that, like low score.
Oh, that would be disappointing.
But I'm expecting.
What's the over under? What's Vegas saying this game is going to be like? Because that's a good barometer. Like, is it like a 3-point favorite? And like,
see what they're saying.
I gotta imagine the over under's got to be like 49.
Nah, I feel like the over under got to be like 80.
That's wild, man. You're talking about like a Madden game.
What? Dude, there's some high scoring teams. Let's see what ESPN bet says. ESPN's over under 51.5.
Okay, I was close. Okay.
I was close too, right?
Yeah.
I was like 30.
80? 49 is closer than 80. Price is Right rules. You went over.
Way over either way. Yeah, no. They got it going, either way too. 50% to the Bills, 50.3% to the Bills, 49.7%.
Oh, that is close,
so
man.
Weird. Why not just put it at 50?
Yeah.
So stupid.
You're going Ravens, though.
I'm going Ravens.
All right.
I'm going to see. We're going to see 100
What was the score
points
again?
scored in this
56 to
game.
what?
56 to 48.
Okay. Damn.
We're going to see 100 points scored in this game.
Holy hell. That would be awesome.
Some
Because I have no
college
dog in
numbers.
this fight. That'd be awesome to watch.
They've been going against each other since they were drafted, right? Like, this is it. This is where you see, like,
Do you think this is a career-defining game? Like after this, everyone's going to come back to this. Like, you didn't beat this guy. You didn't beat that guy.
Yes, unless they go off and win championships after, it is definitely going to be career-defining. Because I feel like whoever doesn't beat, we're probably not going to see them in this position.
Oh, so you're saying like after this game, like the window could be closed for them?
Oh yeah, it's going to close.
Man, what's in your water over there?
Other teams are getting better, man. Other teams in the AFC are getting better.
Like Bo Nix and them Broncos coming for that AFC.
Like Bo Nix and them Broncos, like CJ Stroud once they get healthy, and them Texans, right? Once you see, I'm telling you, the Chargers too, right? The Chargers come in and knock off some teams, and you still got the Chiefs, man. So, and we forget about the Bengals, right? We don't even talk about the Bengals, right? They were the best team in the AFC. They just had the worst record, right? So, like, once their record matches their gameplay, we'll see them in there too, right? And they beat the Chiefs, so
wow, that's wild. Let's hope so, just for football's sake, that a game like that'd be awesome.
I just don't see the Bills window being open.
Is it in Baltimore or is it in Buffalo?
I think it's in Buffalo. Buffalo is number 2.
Oh,
so that helps them, right? But
I
don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think that's going to help them enough. They're -1. It's +1 Bills. They don't even get the 3-point cover for being at home.
Really?
So this is going to be tight. And it comes down to, I'm telling you, man, and I just hope we don't see I don't want to say it, so I'm not even going to say it.
Don't you have a feeling, though? Doesn't it, don't you think it's setting up for it, though?
It's going to be electric. It's going to be very electric. All right, so let's keep it moving, though. Well, what are your predictions? My bad. What are your predictions?
I'm going to go Bills. I'm going to take the Bills in this one, and I'm going to go not as spicy as said. I'm not going to go that high of points. I think it'll be more of a battle, and I think it's going to be
right. I'm all disrespecting the defenses. Well, you said 49 points, so what is that? How do you get the 49?
I think it's going to be a 33 to 28.
Oh. Well, that's more than 49. That's like 50. What was that, like 60 some points?
60?
Somewhere around there. I don't know.
I didn't go to
numbers.
school for math.
Yeah.
I
don't know the numbers. But
I think I don't think it gets to 40. I think first team to 30 points is going to win, and it's going to be like 33, 30 to 20, 27, 24. Like just somewhere in there.
Yeah. Okay. 37, 24.
But I think the Bills move on and win.
Oh wow. And then, like I said, man, whoever wins this game, either one, I think they're going to take it to the Super Bowl for sure. They got that momentum. They're going to have that momentum.
Like, I want to say it's going to be more points, but like, I ain't going to put no shade on those defenses. Like, I feel like the Baltimore can intercept the ball a couple times and get some sacks. And I feel like the Bills can, get some sacks and stuff. Like, I think it's going to be wild.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, you got the Bills. I got the Ravens. It'll be interesting to come back and see where we stood next Tuesday when we check in after these weekend's games. Moving on. I don't have a whole lot of time left tonight, guys. But
you want to close it? Maybe we just touch NBA later or on the socials or something.
Well, I was gonna say we could. Nuggets are up right now, 36-21.
Hell yeah! Tell us about that game tonight.
Their last 5 games. About this game. So yeah, Nuggets are up 36-21 right now. Jamal Murray, 19 points at the end of the first, so coming out hot, which is much needed. I don't think Joker's in there playing tonight.
Another night off. Does he play basketball anymore?
I don't think so. He does what he
Or
wants.
is he like the Chiefs?
When you're a
they just-
3-time
his
MVP, you
season
can do
starts in
whatever
the
you
playoffs?
want. Yeah, exactly. Like he doesn't need to be there. He has horses to tend to. I don't know. He may be out there. Yeah, I don't think he's out there. Oh wait, no, he's out there. He has 2 points.
What the?
Yeah, right.
What's he doing?
Hanging out, I guess, man.
Ain't play like
You
no
know,
MVP.
he starts off a little slow in games, it seems, and then he tends to open up and he still somehow ends up with a triple-double. So hey, I'll take it. Looks like they were
No Doncic tonight for the Mavs, right?
4-1. Yeah. Doncic is out.
Is Irving out?
Oh wait, yeah, Doncic is out, man. Expect to return February 2nd. Doesn't show Irvin as being out. I think Irvin's out. I think Irvin's playing. And I'm just looking at the box score. Hey,
Yeah.
The game.
Well, this is a big game. They got to win this one because Mavericks are nipping at their heels.
Yeah, Kyrie's playing. He only has 4 points. 2 of 6 on his field goals. Played 8 minutes so far. Yeah, and, yeah, like you said, Mavericks are nipping at their heels in the standings. So it's pretty tight.
And Wolves are winning games too. They're creeping up. They're creeping.
Timberwolves.
Got to keep one eye on the Wolf Pack.
Yeah, so Minnesota's right there at the 8th seed, coming right behind the Lakers, who I think just had a good win too.
I think so, yeah.
Against San Antonio. San Antonio too, man, creeping up. Look at Wemby, man, the second season.
Yeah, watch out.
That guy.
This West is going to be hot. I think it's going to be a dogfight towards the end, man. I think it's going to be
always a dogfight.
I think specifically though for those final 4 teams to get into the playoffs, I feel it's going to come down to a game.
Well, like you still got Phoenix and Golden State right there in and out of it too. Because what was it last Tuesday? They were in it. I think Golden State was in the 10th spot last Tuesday. So it's going back and forth round robin. But like you said, you see Minnesota holding tight, steady where they are, looking to climb just right there. They got more wins than the Lakers, just the Lakers have one less loss, I guess, having, one game, however that works in the beginning of the season. It's like it is what it is till the All-Star break. I think that's when you really start to see people started to ratchet up and positions started to solidify and teams try to move out of that play-in bracket. Because that's the goal, right? I guess,
just get in because the Mavericks made the finals as the 5th seed.
Yeah, but the play-in bracket's a little hard because you have those extra games in that play-in tournament too. So, but yeah, like you said, just get in and just get to the dance. Like you want to just get in. It's just.
And it starts with tonight. You think the Mavericks upset the Nuggets, or the Nuggets got this?
All right, there we go. Technical difficulties. Beep. Nah, you just want to get into it though, right? Like, and see what you can do. It's cool that they expanded it out, those extra spots, and added that play-in tournament, kind of giving it a little mini playoff before the playoff. But yeah, you definitely want to be on the other side of, one of those top 6 teams, which they can be. The Clippers always tend to melt down, so we'll see how they do towards the end of the season. I mean, same thing, Mavs too. Mavs just kind of don't care where they play, right? They don't care if they win the division or not. They'll play last seed, top seed, bottom seed, whatever seed in the ground. But so I definitely expect to see some changes, and then man, OKC is looking like what we thought Memphis was going to be a few years ago, right? Memphis is still in it.
Memphis is still there. They put the Wolves in their place over the weekend, man.
Then you got Houston, man. Just that young team is just proving everybody wrong. They built this from the ground up, just straight Nuggets way, man. That's the thing. You got those teams, Memphis, OKC.
Yeah, they took
Houston,
that model, that groundwork,
Nuggets mold.
The Nuggets laid it out. They showed you how to win it, and now the Nuggets are the opposite of that. They're the older, experienced, veteran team, and now when they get in the playoffs,
too soon. It wasn't supposed to be like that.
Players.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be like that. We're supposed to still be able to compete, right, at the top of the mountain, and it's seeming like our window's closing a bit quicker than we thought. So we'll probably have to go into the bag and pull out one of those.
I don't think after
overpriced.
I don't think it'll have to be a necessarily full rebuild. I just think that they'll just have to be more conscientious on how they address their depth and how they add through free agency and how well they draft.
You just can't keep people with the luxury tax.
Exactly. When you're on top like that, you just can't keep everybody all the time.
Yeah.
You saw
That's
how
the unfortunate thing.
you saw how some of the pieces from last year moved on to other opportunities.
Yeah. Well, and then but then you see the effect too. With Jamal Murray, and MPJ, the effect of your homegrown players as they get better, right? Sometimes you're paying a little bit more money for these guys that you normally
how do you feel
pay for on the market because
they're
your
younger talent though coming up. This Peyton Watson and the Christian Braun. How do you
want to see some more consistency?
Do you like those guys, or do you want to try to move on?
I do. I want to see more consistency though out of Christian Braun. I want to see him take a little bit more initiative, man, and just kind of play his game a little bit more. So it'll be interesting to see what he does come playoff time.
Has he been coming more so off the bench still though?
Yeah, he's been coming more.
I'd like to see him get some starting
minutes.
Russ.
I think him and Russ have been switching, because they've been having Russell Westbrook start a few times, but I haven't seen every lineup though.
I've been preaching this with my Wolves since they got them in town with playing their younger talent and getting them some minutes of experience, because I do feel that's going to be the deciding X factor for a lot of these teams getting the playoffs, is how cohesive and how experienced their young depth is off the bench for the playoffs. And
especially nowadays, right?
Crucial that they should be getting 5 to 10 minutes at least a game, maybe 12 tops. Just get them in there so they can get their, their feet wet, their comfortability with the play in the offense and how the defense has to be operated. But to expect these young guys to come in cold off the bench and show up on these playoffs and these big crucial games with no experience or no minutes or no
or they don't use them, and then the old guys are just worn out.
Exactly.
They're so worn down.
God forbid, an injury pops up, and then you're expecting them to play like they're superstars, and they're not there because during this course of the season they didn't get that seasoned experience that they need.
Well, that's been the case with that was the case with the Nuggets. That's how Mike Malone was, and that's why I think they moved on and let Connolly go to the Timberwolves, just because he was right there in line with Mike Malone. That was the whole thing. Is no, you gotta play these guys, man. You drafted them. Right?
For me, for the Nuggets, that's what I want to see. When I'm watching because I don't have the games or whatever. I want to see their young talent getting some more. I understand Westbrook and Porter and Jokic and Murray. Those are your guys. That's who you want to go to battle with. But if guys like Gordon when is he coming back? Is he going to be healthy? He is. He's back.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. But he's been having a tougher season this year. He's having a harder time staying on the court and putting up production, because when he is hot, he's a game changer on that
dominating
team.
The Mavericks right now.
They are
41-22.
Get those young guys in, Sad. You're up by
right. They got Braun in. They got Christian Braun in.
Okay, good.
Watson. They got DeAndre Jordan in. That's weird.
I am a fan of Watson. I picked him up everywhere in my fantasy leagues. I think he's a good young emerging talent to put right behind Murray and Westbrook in the lineup to come off the bench. I think he's a bright spot for the Nuggets here once their older stars tend to phase out and they start to turn over the leaf over to the younger guys.
Oh, Christian Braun started tonight too.
Oh, he did. Hell yeah! There you go.
Gordon came off the bench.
I wish my Wolves would do the same damn thing, but Finchie is so stuck on his 6 players that he loves to play, and they drafted these 2 guys. Well, granted, Shannon's hurt right now, but and Dillingham's coming off injury, but you got this young depth. You're one of the deeper teams in the West. Show it. You're gonna need it, because we saw last year in the playoffs for the Wolves, especially, is they ran out of juice and out of gas, and the Mavericks exposed them. The Nuggets almost got to them because they just looked gassed. They hung on by the chin and the hair of the chin, and they squeaked it out against the Nuggets. But like the Mavericks really like just classed them. Like they punked them. Like, and that comes into play where you need to get your young players established at this time of the year. So when that crucial moments come up, they can perform and they're not gun shy shooting the ball.
Yeah.
How do you like Anthony Edwards getting fined again? I think he's up to like $250,000 in fines this year.
It's like $287,000 in fines. What I saw, I think.
At this point, it's like, does he not care or what?
You know, I don't think he does anymore.
Like, because following
it's like
him up
when
close
Jordan
was
was getting fined.
I don't know at what point does it like a suspension comes into play because he's
he had 40 points the other night. They're like, you can do what you want to do. We got you. We'll pay your fines. You're good.
It seems that way because he's just doing whatever he wants.
$285,000 in fines.
The Wolves had a heartbreaker against Memphis over the weekend. I think they lost by a bucket. They came out though the other night, played the worst team in the league in the Wizards, I believe, and they won by 14. So it's kind of like the tale of two teams this year. Just can't close it out against those teams that they're fighting to close the gap on the standings with, and they're, just doing what they should do against bad teams. And it's just, I think that's going to be their Achilles heel getting into the playoffs and making a playoff run is just this year. I don't think they have that edge or that X factor of like pushing through tough games or like must-win games. It's just gonna their stars like Edwards is gonna have to play out of his mind all-star Jordan-like basketball if they're gonna get carried to at least where they got last year.
They're comparing him to Jordan last year, so he better get on it. If he wants to be Jordan, you gotta be Jordan.
I'm one of the more realistic Wolves fans here, and I'll be the first to say that like I wouldn't be shocked or disappointed. Oh, I'd be disappointed because they lost or whatever my team, but I would not be surprised if they are a one and done this year, like they lose in the play-in, or they don't make the play. Because like the how this year started, I think they got shell shocked with how not well the trade went down, like how it's not working, how it just. Yes, Randall and DiVincenzo are great players, and they're right. And they had a great playoff run last year at the Knicks. But in this offense of this coaching staff and this team with these personalities, it's just something's not clicking with that starting five. And I think they've dug themselves so much of a hole that it might be too much to come out of come crunch time when they need to like, okay, guys, win it in. Okay, guys, win and move on. Can they do it? It's hard for me to say. As a fan, I want it, and I'd love to, but I just realistically, I think there's some other better teams in the Western Conference that could take advantage of the mishaps and the shortcomings of the Wolves this year.
Yeah, I forgot they had Julius Randle.
Because that was part of that big trade they did with.
So they got that help. You think they should move on from Mike Conley?
Oh man, yeah. So up here, I'm kind of like the outlier. I think that Conley should be coming off the bench for like 10, 12 minutes playing and like being a supporting cast player and not necessarily the star. I mean, he's a veteran. He had his good run last year. You got to pay the man his respects for what he's done in this league. But at the same time, you have such great untapped potential talent sitting there waiting that you drafted on the bench to make a splash. And they're doing those things in the G League, and they're outperforming what they should be doing in the G League, where they don't belong in the G League. They belong in the NBA and to be playing NBA games. And the roster's clogged with players like Connolly, which, yeah, he's been good. He did great for them last year, but I think with his injury history, his like just where he's at with his career, it'd be best for the team to have him come off the bench and be a motivator and like get a team on runs and just, keep his body fresh for the playoffs than having him out here starting playing, 23, 30 minutes a game still, when you got fully capable younger players that could do same or similar production that he's been doing this year. Like, I like the man, I do, and I respect him, but for the benefit of the team, I think he needs to take a step back, and like Finch, the coach, needs to take a hard look in the mirror and realize he isn't that guy anymore that we've been accustomed to in previous years, and especially in that playoff run last year. He's another year older, another step lost, and he is what he is, and he can still provide for you, but in a limited fashion. Like,
yeah. And he
I'm
did
not
come
all
off
about
the
people
bench in
losing
the
their
last
jobs
game.
or whatever, but at the same time, I feel them holding Conley to what they are this year, it's holding them back, and it's costing them some games.
Yeah. And it looks like he has been coming off the bench on the past
Oh, he has?
couple
Well, that's
games.
good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they got DiVincenzo. So I think, he definitely take that second spot.
It's
right
definitely
there
a hot topic up here, or a talking point of like, what do we do with our guards? Like, with the deficiencies we have with the big men, like our guards need to step up, our shooters need to step up. We need to, for the love of God, hit our free throws, free points, not like put those on the board.
Yeah.
And then the just the rebounding, man, like one ugly stat this team has this year is just they're one of the worst with turnovers. Like, it's just playing very sloppy, unconfident, undisciplined, not really cocky, but just arrogant basketball.
Yeah. That's how Ant plays. That's how Anthony Edwards plays.
Yeah, I think they like took where they got last year, and they're like still trying to like ride off that high, and it's like, bro, it's not there this year. Like, last year was last year. You need to like check yourself and recognize that like this is a different season. You need to play smarter.
That's how I feel like the Nuggets were last season.
It did kind of feel like that in a way, because I mean, if they would have got past the Wolves last year, I think they would have handedly took care of the Mavs.
Oh, definitely, as we're doing right now. But yeah,
what's up?
What
up, 16 now?
No, Mavs slowly creeping back, 32-49.
Oh,
we'll see.
Might have to tune in here on that game when we get off here.
Oh man, yeah. Speaking of getting off, so I think we touched on some good things, though. We went through the playoffs. Got our reviews in, our previews in. We see it's tightening up, man. It's just coming down to those divisional leaders, plus the Commanders. Just the big dogs in the NFL. They're gonna get together, and hopefully all of these games are pretty exciting, right? It'd be interesting to see a game that's not an exciting football game this weekend as it gets tighter and closer. I feel like all these games are ready to play, and they all think that they have a chance. It's so crazy that the Nuggets got DeAndre Jordan out there playing, man.
Really?
Yeah, it's freaking wild. Like,
he was in the doghouse there for a while, wasn't he?
Oh man, well, I thought he was gonna be a coach for a while, but he's still playing. He's good. But anyway, we got some good games coming up this weekend in the NFL on Saturday, two on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. No game Sunday night, so I think that'll be dominated by college football playoffs. So
that's right.
That's cool. They got that little union that they're working together and getting that in check. So guys, we'd love to hear who you're watching. So join us in the Facebook group.
Over there on Discord and any of the servers.
Yeah, there we go. Any of the servers, you could jump on the SSN. I think it's the SSN chat.
Talking content or something.
Yeah, SSN. Yeah, talking content, and then Twitch, anywhere, search Shady Sports Network, and you'll come across us. And leave your questions, leave your information, and we'll get to you. We definitely want to talk to you. So get that out. There's a couple of you on there tonight. I feel like a few of you stay with us throughout the whole night. So thank you for that love.
Truly appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes. Don't forget to hit that like button over there in X. All of you guys watching on Twitter. All you guys watching on YouTube, Facebook, you guys that jumped on, thank you again. But we touched on the playoffs, and then it's kind of switching slowly going into basketball. We'll be getting them a little bit more as we get into it. You'll start to see it open up and get a little bit more basketball talk as the playoffs tighten up too. So look for us again, definitely next Tuesday. We'll be back again next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then we might be on Sunday. We may be on Saturday. You know, who knows? We'll see how the game's
Stay
looking.
tuned in our socials.
Check the
keep
socials.
you notified. We'll keep you updated.
Mm-hmm.
If you like us enough, come check us out on Thursday for the roundtable and give us a shout out in the chat.
Yeah, we'll be on
Really
Thursday for the
appreciate that.
roundtable. That's I think it's at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or something like that. So check it out on the YouTube. There's links for it on the Facebook channel.
We love to have some of our community over there repping us and giving us good representation.
Come join with us. We'd love to have you guys in there and bring your questions, bring your comments, bring
absolutely.
The energy. As always, we appreciate you guys for sure. Justin, you got anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, if you're looking to take on the challenge, like I said earlier, we got some spots left in our basketball and our football league for fantasy that we're going to have take off next year and be a part of the show segments and whatnot, implemented into what we do here on the episodes. So if you're feeling spicy, feeling interested in taking on that challenge, feel free to reach out to Seth or I, and we can get you invited into that league and be a part of it. We'd love to have you and look forward to that. Also, please, we fully encourage it and appreciate it if you could spread our message, spread us on the web, on your socials and your networks, and let people know what we're doing here if you like it, and just keep us going. It helps us out, keeps us running the content that we do, keeps us pumping out the stuff on socials and whatnot, and we enjoy doing this for you guys so much, and we want to continue to keep doing it for you. So up to this point, thank you for everything. It's been a great start to this year so far. Looking forward to everything that we have to go to give to you on this show every week, and looking forward to keep pumping that out and doing it with you.
There we go. Well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. As you said, please, guys, if you could share us out, that'd be greatly appreciated. We'd love to
use our codes in the promos we got here.
Yeah, check our Cash App code. Look in the descriptions.
Yeah, feel free to hit us up with a screenshot or show us what you end up getting on the Breaks GPT, the mystery box, or
right. Yeah, let us know. We'll have to get you out of the Shady Sports Network hat or shirt or something to go along with it if you let us know. So reach out. We'll get you some fan gear or something just for reaching out. So we appreciate you guys. So if nothing else, Justin, as always, we're gonna bid adieu.
Yes, and root for the Nuggets tonight. Let's go watch some Nuggets b-ball and take it on to Sleep Town.
There we go. And root for the Lions too, right? Root for the Lions.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Let's go for the playoffs. So have a good one, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.